Donald Trump now says that he will be buying a Tesla because he's furious about what's being done to Elon Musk. What a move that reeks of desperation. Let's talk about it. Donald Trump posted to Truth Social,
Truth Central,
quote, "To Republicans, conservatives, and all great Americans, Elon Musk is putting it on the line in order to help our nation, and he is doing a fantastic job. But the radical left lunatics, as they often do, are trying to illegally and collusively boycott Tesla." Nothing illegal, by the way. Saying, hey, we no longer like Elon, don't buy Tesla. Nothing illegal about it. They're trying to illegally boycott Tesla, one of the world's great automakers and Elon's baby, in order to attack and do harm to Elon and everything he stands for. They tried to do it to me at the 2024 presidential ballot box, but how did that work out? In any event, I'm going to buy a brand new Tesla tomorrow morning as a show of confidence and support for Elon Musk, a truly great American. Why should he be punished for putting his tremendous skills to work in order to help make America great again? I do want to remind you that the consequences of speech are also free speech. Now, as I've said before, getting rid of my Tesla was one of the greatest things I ever did. And what we now have is the richest man in the world, maybe alongside Putin, I guess, who receives billions from the American government, has had business partners that include the Chinese Communist Party, the Saudi royal family. Trump now says they are illegally boycotting him. Now, the funniest part about all of this is, remember when Donald Trump attacked electric vehicles and said, why the hell would anyone want one of these stupid things?
Nobody wants to buy these cars either. That's the other problem. They don't.
Whoops, sorry, the audio was low there. I do apologize for that.
So sad. Nobody wants to buy these cars either. That's the other problem. They don't go far. I want to be more sophisticated. I said, give me a good reason why we shouldn't buy electric. Why should we buy it?
There you go. So Trump used to rail against electric vehicles, but now, of course, that it's all about Elon, he says he's going to buy one, and this is now the new thing that they're doing. Here is Sean Hannity, Fox News propagandist, also suggesting, hey, I didn't know how cool, he calls it I think he called it a Plaid X or something like that. He says these cars are just so cool.
It's one example of many. And I don't believe in cancellation. I don't believe in cancel culture. You know, and I know maybe it's not going to make up a difference, but you know what? After I drove my friend's Tesla, I went and I already picked out the one I want. It's called the what is it called? The S-Plaid.
You can tell he really knows everything about it.
And do you realize this thing, an electric vehicle has 1,006 horsepower and goes from 0 to 62 in 2.0 seconds.
You can tell he's really passionate about these electric vehicles.
And this thing rips, and you can go about 400 miles without a charge. And I don't drive enough to go further than 400 miles, so I'm good. And maybe it's just a gesture on my part, and I like that. I like new technology, but it's just a way of saying, you know, look what they're doing.
Yeah. You know, Hannity's actually making one of the great arguments for electric vehicles. You know, I talk to people and they come to me with tears in their eyes. They go, sir, I want to do the right thing, but these electric vehicles, they don't have the range for me. I don't want to have to charge. And I say to them, listen, what's the most miles you ever drive in a day? They go, oh, I don't know, like usually 30, 40 miles. I go, okay. When you do a longer trip, what's the longest you would drive? I don't know, you know, like maybe 4 hours in which you could go maybe 220, 240 miles, depending on speed limits and traffic. So I say, okay, so the range of the vehicle exceeds what you ever drive in a day. Is that right? They go, yeah. And I'm like, so then what's the problem? You just plug it in and charge it overnight. They go, oh yeah, that's a good point. That's an excellent argument for the range fiends who go, I can't switch to this. It doesn't have the long enough range. Hannity's making that argument. The problem is it's all so disingenuous, and it's all meant in service to the poor, poor, tortured, richest man in the world who is now suffering from what they are calling an illegal boycott, despite there being nothing illegal about it. The biggest victims they claim to be. And now the poor little victim happens to be the richest man in the world. These people are pathetic. Guys in my audience, I know you're tired of the chafing with traditional underwear. Our sponsor, Sheath, makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of the boxers that are too loose or the briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath underwear is designed with 2 special pouches in the front. Keeps everything separate in its own compartment with extra confidence that you will feel throughout the day, keeping things separate and comfortable, no more sticking and chafing. I was skeptical about the dual pouch, I admit it, but it is game changing. Everything stays where it is supposed to be, extra useful when working out at the gym, and even if you don't want to use the pouches, you don't have to. It is still the most comfortable pair of underwear I have ever owned. It will blow your mind how soft and stretchy these are, made with moisture wicking technology to keep you dry. If you were ready to take underwear comfort to a new place, a place you didn't even know it could go, head over to sheathunderwear.com/Pacman and get 20% off with the code Pacman. The link is in the description.